Good morning. It's Coffee with Lombardi, and the question on everybody's mind this weekend is, will the 49ers beat the Rams? Well, the preview is up on The Athletic. There you have it. 2 weeks later, Christian McCaffrey is back in LA. The Rams have the unusual privilege of facing a star player in 2 consecutive games with that opposing star player wearing a different uniform. That's right. The Rams had a bye week last week, and Christian McCaffrey's final game with the Panthers was at SoFi Stadium, aka Levi's South, which is expected to be over 60% 49ers fans again on Sunday. And because of the Rams bye week and the very rapid trade of Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers, the Rams' next game comes against McCaffrey returning in the red and gold. It will be white, gold, and a little bit of red for the 49ers, who will be wearing their road jerseys on Sunday. So McCaffrey is the lead to my prediction piece. Matt Barrow's prediction is there as well. At the end of this piece, this video, the written piece is up on the screen. You can read that. You'll see what's at the end of it. Those are some score predictions as well. But at the end of this video, I will tell you whether or not I think the 49ers will beat the Rams. And then this actual score prediction in video form always comes on Saturday. You all know the drill. The link to this article is in the description, and it is now also in the chat section. So hit the like button and go ahead and check out the link. Obviously, subscribe to The Athletic. We've got 10 observations and the 2 predictions for the game. We go in depth with those observations. Obviously, something that you need to check out if you are a serious follower of the 49ers. So hope you take the challenge. And now hope that you enjoy the keys to the game. Key number 1 for the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo must successfully perpetuate the quick release game. This is always a key when the 49ers play the Rams. Jimmy Garoppolo in week 4 averaged 2.4 seconds from snap to release. That was quick enough for the Rams pass rush to not be able to hit home. Jimmy Garoppolo last year in the 49ers 2 wins averaged 2.4 and 2.5 seconds respectively from snap to release. Those splits were both quick enough to ensure that the Rams pass rush didn't have time to hit home. In the NFC Championship game, Jimmy Garoppolo averaged 3.1 seconds from snap to release. That split was not quick enough to ensure that the Rams pass rush would stay at bay. And guess who won the NFC Championship game? The Rams did. The Rams played some tiger coverage in that NFC Championship game. They did a lot to take away the 49ers short game and the efficiency of it. Garoppolo was obviously playing with 2 injuries as well. I'm sure it was a perfect storm. But lo and behold, the Rams were able to buy Aaron Donald and company enough time to rush the passer. Now, as we saw in week 4, they don't have Von Miller anymore, so that pass rush is weaker. But the Rams defense is still one of the strong suits, if not the strong suit of the team. Why don't we just say the strong suit of the team? In the left column here, you have the 2021 DVOA ranks: offense, defense, special teams, all the divisions. Blue is good, red is bad. On the right side, you have this season's DVOA ranks for the Rams. As you can see, the Rams have gotten a whole lot worse from 2021 to 2022. They moved from blue to red offensively. They've stayed in the blue, though, defensively, and they've moved from blue to red in special teams and in overall rank. Number 5 DVOA last year for the Rams, down to number 23 this season. The offense has tumbled from 8 to 25, but the defense has stayed afloat from 5 to 8. Pass defense has gotten worse. I think a big reason there is the pass rush has gotten worse. Von Miller's in Buffalo now from 6 to 14. And the run defense has gone from number 5 to number 2. So the run defense has actually gotten better for the Rams this year than the number 2 run defense in all football. And for that reason, the 49ers need a pass to set up the run if needed. And this was needed in week 4. The Rams came out crowding the box, and Jimmy Garoppolo came out firing. Jawan Jennings was his favorite target on the first drive of the game. Hit him on that slant pattern on 3rd down that really got the 49ers going. Well, as soon as the 49ers softened the Rams up with 4 passes, they hit him in the belly with the Jeff Wilson Jr. 32-yard touchdown run. Outside of that touchdown run, the 49ers averaged only 2.7 yards per carry on the game, 56 rushing yards, I think. So the Rams generally stopped the run, and that's what you would expect the number 2 run defense in the NFL to do, especially against the 49ers run offense, which is ranked number 25. But the 49ers did get theirs with that Jeff Wilson Jr. touchdown run. And they got it because they passed to set up the run. And they ran that wham block play from Charlie Werner. Charlie Werner weighs 240 pounds. He absolutely stonewalled Greg Gaines, Rams defensive tackle, who's up there at 310, probably 320, and he might even be larger than that, but I'm just going by the listing on their roster. Anyway, it was a size mismatch, but the 49ers had the element of surprise on their side when Werner came from the side of the formation. Wham block, Greg Gaines, room for Jeff Wilson. 4 or 5 other blocks, including Spencer Burford and Aaron Banks, executed perfectly on that play from the 49ers. Long story short, the element of surprise worked, and the pass to set up the run also worked. And the 49ers have to be ready to do that against the Rams defense, which, as you can see on this chart, is still the strong suit of their team. All right, key number 3, the 49ers must be disciplined against Sean McVay eye candy. Do not be lulled to sleep by these low rankings for the Rams offensively. 25 overall, 24 pass offense, 23 run offense. Yes, they are struggling. Yes, Matthew Stafford is nowhere near as good when the offensive line is not pass protecting well for him. Take this. The Rams were number 1 in pass block win rate last year. They're number 23 this year. Losing Andrew Whitworth was the beginning of a crumbling effect for the Rams. He retired. He's on Thursday Night Football now with Richard Sherman, their former star left tackle. So losing Whitworth was bad because Joe Noteboom took over at left tackle. Noteboom gave up 8 pressures against the 49ers in week 4, but then Noteboom tore his Achilles, so he's done for the season. So they've moved Alaric Jackson, the Rams have, from guard to left tackle. And the good news for the Rams, the bad news for the 49ers is that Jackson is probably their best pass protector. So they're going to be better at left tackle than they were in week 4. They're also going to be better at center than they were in week 4 because the Rams were on their 3rd stringer when the 49ers blew them out because Brian Allen got hurt. They're on Jeremiah Colon. Brian Allen's going to come back for this game. So the Rams are going to be better at center. They're going to be better at left tackle. Those are 2 huge positions of problem for the Rams. And, I think a huge reason why the 49ers amassed 35 pressures and 7 sacks in week 4 is because the Rams were on backups. Noteboom's a backup quality player, but I guess he was their starter. But they were on compromised players, let's put it that way, at left tackle and at center. The 49ers will no longer have that advantage in this game. Because the 49ers will no longer have that advantage in this game, the Rams are probably going to try to run a little bit, right? They're probably going to try to expose the 49ers defensive line in the same way that the Kansas City Chiefs were able to expose the 49ers defensive line last week. And that is take advantage of their pass rushing aggressiveness. The 49ers faced the juggernaut of the NFL last week when the Kansas City Chiefs came to town. It's the Chiefs and it's the Bills, right? Those are the 2 teams that are head and shoulders above everybody else. McCole Hardman is a nice 3rd or 4th weapon for Kansas City, right? And he was able to rip around the edge with some of those change of direction runs. Those really hurt the 49ers. Are the Rams capable of beating the 49ers in such a way personnel-wise? Maybe not. Maybe the Rams don't have as much talent. I get it. The Chiefs, they have a supreme amount of talent. It's them. 49ers have a lot too, but it's them, it's the Bills. Those are top tier teams. I don't think that the Rams quite do have that stockpile, but they do have Sean McVay on their sideline. And you do know that Sean McVay watched Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy put up a bunch of eye candy out there for the 49ers defensive line and linebackers last week, and the 49ers bought it. The 49ers did not respond to it well. They got embarrassed defensively by Kansas City. So McVay's going to try to strain the 49ers defense cerebrally in the same way. And the 49ers have to stay home defensively. And they have to realize that this Rams offensive line is not going to be just a paper tiger that's going to be there for the crumpling in this game the way that it was in week 4. They're still going to have an advantage talent-wise up front, the 49ers will. But it's not going to be as big as week 4. And they now have weaknesses on tape that Andy Reid exposed last week. And the week prior, the Atlanta Falcons exposed against the 49ers as well. So the 49ers have to be ready to show up and play against the Rams offense that by the metrics isn't good, but we know that Sean McVay can do some stuff to compromise opposing defenses, and the 49ers must withstand that. For some reason, I don't have a key 4 here. So let's go to key 5. For some reason, key 4 did not copy and paste when I typed this morning. But key 5, let's go here, and then I'll just make up key 4 off the top of my head. Key 5 for the 49ers. It doesn't matter if you're a star, somebody like Christian McCaffrey, or depth piece, somebody like Kevin Gibbons. You've got to step up and make a play in this game. You have to step up and make multiple plays in this game. This is a divisional battle. The 49ers are entering a bye week right after this game. They're 3-4. This is the difference between 3-5 and a spot pretty low in the division pecking order, and 4-4 with essentially a share of first place entering the bye week right at midseason. The 49ers can either be really well positioned or in a total dogfight, just like last year, depending on the outcome of this game. That makes this not a pivotal game, but it makes it a critical game. You can't have pivotal games until later in the season. But this game is really important. It's an NFC West battle. Neither of these two teams likes each other. And the 49ers are not 100%, right? Deebo Samuel, we're going to find out more a little bit later on Friday about his status. It's trending toward him not playing, but I'm going to wait and reserve judgment. We'll see. Even if he does play, he might not be 100%. So immediately along the fronts of their most physical player, the guy who's the battering ram against the Rams, pun intended, Deebo Samuel. The 49ers are without, the 49ers might be compromised that spot without Deebo Samuel. So Christian McCaffrey is a star player who's probably going to have to pick up some slack in this game. He's got to make plays. He knows the whole playbook now. 49ers are probably going to run more screen passes now since that's one of his specialties. The Rams obviously try to get to the quarterback as quick as possible. The 49ers aim for a quick release game against the Rams. Christian McCaffrey, especially if Deebo Samuel's not available, is going to be part of it. 49ers try to establish the run game. Christian McCaffrey's their running back. He's going to be part of it. Maybe Jeff Wilson, Christian McCaffrey on the field at the same time. I don't know how Kyle Shanahan's going to organize these personnel packages if Deebo Samuel is out of the game. But the 49ers do have to make up for the splash that they have consistently gotten against the Rams with physicality, that punch that Deebo Samuel's landed, and they're going to have to get it in other ways. Don't forget the name George Kittle. He's another guy that just has to make plays. It's time to step up, make plays if you're the San Francisco 49ers. And it doesn't matter if you're Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, or if you're a depth piece. If you're somebody like Kevin Givens, who's not a star player on this team, you also have to make plays if you're Kevin Givens. Because you know what? I wrote about this earlier this week. The 49ers do not have Eric Armstead right now, and it's extremely unlikely that Armstead's going to play in this game because he's been out of practice this week, and he's been out of practice since week 4. But the 49ers are struggling without Eric Armstead's massive impact on run defense. In fact, I even had the chart right here. Maybe we could put this, why don't we make this bigger? Here's the chart. Eric Armstead, run defense, 49. This is the time last year where Eric Armstead moved inside to play defensive tackle exclusively. That improved the 49ers from number 14 to number 1 in run defense. Their sacks per game went up 1.2 sacks per game. Massive, massive improvement. This year with Armstead, the 49ers are the number 8 run defense. Without him, they're number 24. That ties in directly to sacks per game because you earn the right to rush the passer. 4.0 compared to 2.7 with and without Armstead. So right now the 49ers are on the bottom row of this. Armstead's not there. The run defense is struggling. The sacks per game aren't rolling in the way that they're supposed to. Only 3 sacks over the past 2 games for the 49ers. So who does that put pressure on? It puts pressure on an unheralded guy like Kevin Givens, Akeem Spence, Hassan Ridgeway, Kerry Hyder Jr. These guys have to play against the Rams. They may not be their A-listers at defensive tackle. They may not be their starters at defensive tackle, but the 49ers are going to split 20 snaps apiece to these guys. And they have to deliver against the Rams, or else the Rams will paper cut them with the run game, and then Matthew Stafford won't have to face as much pressure, and this can turn into the NFC title game all over again, and the 49ers don't want that repeat. So Givens has played his best games against the Rams. In fact, his 2 highest PFF scores over his past 16 games have both come against the Rams. Nice swim move against Jeremiah Colon last time. That was a nice tackle for loss. Well, Colon's not going to be the starting center this time. He's got to beat Brian Allen. He's got to beat the guards for the Rams. And that's a tougher challenge. But the 49ers need Kevin Givens to deliver on that challenge in this football game. So it doesn't matter if you're a star player, if you're depth, you got to step up if you're the 49ers in this one, because it's going to be a dogfight. They're favored by 1.5 against the defending Super Bowl champions. But, I mean, you'll see here in my prediction in a second. It's not going to be simple. It is not going to be simple. All right. I said that I skipped key 4. So key 4 off the top of my head, Cooper Kupp. You have to find a way to slow down Cooper Kupp. And, I'll, just take that off the screen for now so you don't get confused with key 5 and key 4. But Cooper Kupp is already at 56 catches this year. The 49ers are different in the secondary than they were last season. They just got roasted by the Kansas City Chiefs last week. Jimmy Ward didn't look good at that slot cornerback position. He probably isn't too happy about playing there, but it only makes sense for him to be there because he's the 49ers' best cover guy. Jimmy Ward, even with the compromised hand, is going to have to slow down Cooper Kupp whenever he lines up against Cooper Kupp in coverage. It's 60% of the time for Cooper Kupp, he's in that slot. And Matthew Stafford is going to look and lock on to him. And if you're the coverage for the 49ers, you can buy the rush a chance for some sack opportunities, right? If you cover well enough. But it's really tough against one of the best receivers in all of football. Jimmy Ward successfully manned up Cooper Kupp, most famously in the 2019 season when the 49ers went into the Coliseum in week 6 and Robert Saleh went crazy on the sideline. They brought Ward down from free safety to man up Cooper Kupp, and he just smothered him. Is Jimmy Ward the same player as then because he's got a cast on his hand now? Probably not. But Jimmy Ward's going to have to make something out of a bad situation here. He's not 100%. Cooper Kupp is awesome. Jimmy Ward might not be happy about playing this man nickel role full time, but he has to make it work. Bottom line. That's what the 49ers need. Meanwhile, Talanoa, Hufanga, and Tashawn Gibson are going to play safety. The 49ers just need to slow the Rams down. And the Rams, their primary weapon is Cooper Kupp. And if you don't slow them down, you're going to have a really tough time winning this football game. So that brings us back to the original question. Will the 49ers beat the Rams? My answer for this one is, actually, that should say right here. Will the 49ers beat the Rams? I keep on making a mistake with the spelling. Here we go. Let's save this. Let's put it up on the screen. It said with Deebo Samuel. No. With Deebo Samuel, I think yes. Without Deebo Samuel, I don't think they beat the Rams. I think they moved to 3-5. I think they're in a similar predicament as they were last season at 3-5. Deebo Samuel's just such an important piece for the 49ers, particularly in this matchup where they think that the Rams are going to crumple if they punch first. It's hard to punch first without Deebo. He's such an important part of this team. And that's why the 49ers were able to beat the Rams so many consecutive times in the regular season recently, is because Deebo Samuel had massive games in those matchups, and the Rams did crumple in those situations. A lot's going to be reliant on this guy, Christian McCaffrey. He's going to have to step up and pick up the slack that I don't think that the 49ers will be able to pick up without Deebo Samuel. Now, it's going to be a tight margin. A couple things go in your favor. All of a sudden, they can turn it on its head. The Rams aren't great this year, but the 49ers aren't playing great yet either. And they're going to have to show more offensive cohesion. I mean, they're dropping the 4th highest rate of passes in the league. They're not playing well enough on second down. There's so much that's not quite going right for the 49ers yet that you lose a guy like Deebo Samuel, who's such a vital part of the formula against the Rams. All of a sudden, I think you're staring up at a really tough situation. But all is not lost for the 49ers. They're in a situation right now where they do have other weapons. They have to make those weapons work. And we're not sure if Deebo Samuel's going to, be out yet. Like that hasn't been fully determined. So we'll come back with the updates a little bit later today. I'm going to head out to the practice facility right now. We'll keep you updated on Deebo, see what the 49ers are looking at. But if they don't have him, I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight against the Rams this weekend. And if it's that much of a dogfight and the 49ers can't deliver that first punch, and, you look at the way that they played against the Chiefs and the defense is leaking a little bit of oil right now, all of a sudden they're fighting for their lives, right? They're fighting for their lives in this game. Good news for the 49ers is that the season will not be made or broken with this game. Even if they do lose, remember they came back from 3-5 last year. It would just be a whole hell of a lot easier to enter the bye week at 4-4 with 9 games still left to play. All right, check out the predictions, check out the observations. I'm going to put these into the comment section one more time. Christian McCaffrey back to SoFi Stadium. Let's see what happens this weekend. All right, everybody take care. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a great Friday.